Hey, Screaming Geek Meat here. I'm Jerry the Geek. This video, we're going to talk about the 4K of Fury. But before we get into that, if you like physical media, if you like 4Ks, Blu-rays, even DVDs, check out my other videos on my channel because I do these reviews, unboxings, collection updates, discussions. Check that stuff out. Hit the like button, subscribe, turn your bell notifications on. So let's talk about the 4K of Fury. Has Brad Pitt, Shia LaBeouf, Michael Pena. So these are big names there. Wonderful movie, came out in 2014, got an R rating because of being a war movie and pretty graphic and all, not only the visuals, but, the swearing a lot. So it's a pretty intense movie, directed by Denon AVR. It's a World War II movie about, the tanks and the, fighting the Nazis in Germany itself. And of course, it's all about the tank's name is Fury, and all it has to do with, revolves around the brotherhood of the guys that are, inside the tank, their little team, how the bonding, especially at the beginning when they lose the one guy and they get, assigned another guy that's never been to war and no one likes him. So just basically the bonding between him and the rest of them. So phenomenal movie, very gritty, real life of what war is about. I love the movie from beginning to end, but the only thing I didn't like about it, the battle scenes, I know they probably did it to kind of give it a big boost as far as visuals, is all the shots from the tanks and all the gunfire. They... normally when you see gunfire, you see the burst of the gunfire and that's it. And then when it hits. But here they made the colored streams showing the gunfire. I'm like, what the fuck am I watching? Star Wars? That's what I thought I was watching. It was just so, the way they made it look, I looked like I was watching a freaking Star Wars movie. But that's the only thing I didn't like. They just kind of added that, effect to it. I'm not sure why they thought that needed to be done, but yeah, it's pretty crazy. That's the only thing I didn't like about it. Now, this 4K comes from Sony. It came out in 2018. Filmed in 35mm. It does have a 4K digital intermediate, HDR10, no Dolby Vision, which, yeah, a lot of times Dolby Vision adds a little bit, but it's not always needed. I mean, there's a lot of great presentations out there that did not have Dolby Vision. And this is one of those. This is phenomenal from beginning to end. Because of that gritty World War II look, it has that grit and grime throughout this presentation. A lot of depth. The details are incredible. Facial textures, the facial stubble, textures, the tank itself and all the textures around that. As far as the look of the movie, overall, it's pretty muted look. Doesn't have a lot of color. Pretty muted palette overall, but does have pops of color here and there. Especially like the lighting, like inside the tank, there's some red hues from the lighting. It's pretty cool. One of the scenes where when they arrived to the one town, it's just all gritty look to it. See the tank and it's a shot at looking down at the tank and guys. And you see this red, I'm not sure what it was strapped to the back of the tank. So that kind of really pops off against all the grime. So pretty impressive presentation here on this 4K. Now to talk about the Blu-ray comparison on this, not a lot of difference here. Pretty subtle differences. The Blu-ray overall is pretty incredible. Again, the 4K, just subtle differences here. Now, the big difference between the Blu-ray and the 4K is going to be with the audio. The Blu-ray only gives you a DTS 5.1, where the 4K here gives you a Dolby Atmos track. They also give you a DTS HD 5.1 as well. I don't have Dolby Atmos, so I just have the 5.0. So I did try out the DTS 5.1, and I actually compared it with a down mix of the Dolby Atmos. And pretty solid across the board on both of them. Both of them are, even in 5.0, this one kicks some serious ass. From beginning to end, I mean, this will push your system to its limits. I mean, I've got a couple bad drivers in my speakers. I just can't afford to replace them at the moment. And this really showcases how bad my speaker is, because some of the bass, it was really rattling the shit out of it. You know, I had things falling off a couple of the speakers. Now, recently, you've seen reviews talking about Twister being a reference disc, and I would say no. Sometimes the term reference gets thrown around a lot, and Twister did not cut it in my book. This one I would put up there as a reference audio track. This is incredible, well balanced for all the speakers, good channel separation, you know, front, you know, the left and right. The surrounds are very immersive. Hearing the gunfire whizzing around you. You know, then of course, you know, the bass, oh my God. The explosiveness of the bass, you know, the gunfire, the artillery shells hitting, the tank rumbling, the engines. I mean, this is such a freaking incredible track here. So if you've got a really good audio setup, this is one to really test your system. Crank it up and just be blown away. Now for the packaging, standard keep case here, you know, front and back. You know, it does come with a 4K and Blu-ray, but nothing fancy, just different colors. No, it does come with a digital code, but I must have used mine because it's not in here. Now for the bonus features here, we have a Tanks of Fury documentary, No Guts, No Glory, The Horrors of Combat, Tiger 131, Heart of Fury, Clash of Armor, and that has theatrical trailers. And also we have deleted and extended scenes, Director's Combat Journal, Armored Warriors of Real Men Inside the Shermans, Taming the Beast, How to Drive, Fire, and Shoot Inside a 30-ton Tank, Blood Brothers featurettes, and a photo gallery. So quite a bit of stuff here to go through. You know, some of it's on the 4K, some is on the Blu-ray. So to wrap it up, the 4K here of the Fury. If you have an Atmos track, I would recommend getting the 4K because that is going to be your big upgrade, you know, over the Blu-rays, having an Atmos track. If you don't have Dolby Atmos, I would say just stick with the Blu-ray because it looks just almost as good as the 4K, and you still get a kick-ass 5.1 track. So if you want the 4K, it's running 2169 at the moment. If you want to stick with the Blu-ray, it's a 1082. But either way, this is a great movie. I recommend picking up whether it's Blu-ray or 4K. It is incredible. You know, just, you know, visually and audio-wise, it is going to kick the shit out of your system. So that pretty much does it for a look at the 4K Fury. You know, comment below, let me know what you think. You know, check out my other videos on my channel. Like, subscribe, turn your bell notifications on, and we'll see you soon. Geek out.